So this was me. No movement with her lips. I don't want people knowing that me and you have this thing going on. I really like your nose piercing. They look really cute on you. The big boss knew about it. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Man Like Tats and I am back again with another video, guys. As you can tell by the title, today's a story time about how I fell in love with my coworker and it got complicated. Guys, before we get started with this video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment and share this video to your friends and who? Family, if you have not done so already. Because guys, as you've been seeing, the consistency is there, right? As you've been seeing, I've been uploading, I've been showing you guys that I'm back. That there's a lot more to Man Like Tats that you guys haven't seen. Guys, there is so much coming, right? And I'm so excited and I'm so happy to be able to show you guys and have all of these content ready to show you guys. Listen guys, I'm back, right? And we're doing it right? We're doing it right. We're uploading 2 times a day on a Monday and on a Thursday. Adelaide time, I don't know what time that is for you guys, but usually around 5 to 8 p.m. is when I upload on a Monday and a Thursday, so make sure you stay in tune. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the story time about how I fell in love with my coworker, and well, it got complicated. To give you guys some context, right, I worked in a aged care home, right? I worked in an aged care home and I was a carer at the time where I started working at this aged care home. This was about May 2023 when I started working at this aged care home. And she had started working 2 months after me. So May, June, so July she started working after me. And right, because she worked in reception, she didn't work as a carer, right? It was a big facility. She worked as a receptionist, I worked as a carer. So we didn't really see each other. Like even when she started, I never really saw her that much unless I went down to reception. And even then I didn't really have to because I just went straight down to the car park, if that makes sense. So we never really saw each other, you know, prior to us, you know, ending up talking or anything like that. And like, she's cool. Like, she's real cool. My first impressions of her, when I first saw her, I was like, damn, like, you know, she's cute, you know, she's cute and she's got a really loud personality. Like, if you guys saw her, you know she's there. Whenever she walks in the room, you know that she's there. You know that she's present and you know that, yeah, she makes herself known. She's loud. Oh, she's loud, right? She's a big flirt. But she's a cool person. And my first impressions when we first like talked, I was like, yeah, this girl's cool. You know, this girl is the life of work, right? You go to work and you're having a bad day. She's someone that can make your day better, if that makes sense. But yeah, like I said, didn't know her at all. Like never had met before, never talked before, nothing. Like it was just strictly work. I mean, to say it was strictly work from the start is a bit, because like I'll get into it in the story so you guys can understand, but yes, it was strictly work from the start, but at the same time I felt like there was an energy there, if that makes sense. Like yes, it was strictly work because we didn't work together anyways, so it had to be strictly work, but there was an energy there. Okay, so there's a context. Let's get into the story time. So basically, look, so like I said, I started in May 2023. I started working here and I was a carer. Like, if you guys don't know what a carer is, basically I was looking after the old people, you know, showering, all those things, right? What you do as a carer. And 2 months later, like I said, she started working as a receptionist because that was her job. She was a receptionist. I was a carer. So I would work on, she was at ground floor. I would work maybe level 1, level 4, level 5. Like I would work there. So we would never really get into contact unless like the nurse would be like, hey, like Tats, can you go down to reception to, you know, get this and that, right? So if that was never the case, we would never have met, right? Because even when I was going home, I would go straight down to the car park, you know what I mean? And she started later than me. She started at 3 p.m. I finished usually at 3 p.m., right? So, and she would finish at like 9 or something. And I would work 7 to 3. She would work 3 to 9. I think that's what her shifts were. Anyways, right? So there was this one day, like I said, this one day where I had to go down to the reception because the nurse told me to go get flowers or something for a resident. So I had to go down and get some flowers. And I was there and I remember I was, you know, I had noticed her from the like side of my eye because I'd never seen her before. Like I said, she started 2 months after me, right? So I looked on the side of my eye, I'm thinking, okay. I'm like, hey man, Because I won't lie, where I worked, oh my god, I worked with some beautiful women. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bro, every single person damn near that I worked with, they were all beautiful women, right? So I saw her at the reception. I'm thinking, okay, right, I'm giving her a side eye, and I get the flowers. I'm talking to another receptionist because there's usually 2 people working at a time. So I say, oh, flowers, flowers, and she's sitting there, and I'm thinking, right. So I go to the elevator to go back up to the floor, and she says, Tatsy. No, she says, no, what'd she say? She said, Tatenda. I said, Tatenda? I said, how do you know me? Like, the first thing that I thought, oh, maybe it's a TikTok thing. Maybe it's like, maybe she knows me from TikTok. And, it's just something like that. Like, because I've had plenty of I've had plenty of things where people know me from work, right? People from my work know my TikToks, you know what I mean? So I thought it was that, right? And then she comes running to me. I don't know where she got the confidence to just run to me and be like, Tatenda, hey. And like, with anyone that knows her or knows what I'm talking about, she was like, Tata. And for me, like, I'm the type of person that I like to get to know you before we get into all of that. Oh, you know what I mean? I like to, let's slow it down. Hold up. Wait a minute. And she was giving me energy. And the first thing she said to me, she's like, oh, I really like your nose piercing. They look really cute on you. I'm thinking, have we met before? Maybe we've met in the club, right? That's honestly what I thought. I thought maybe we've met in the club, right? Maybe this is someone I've seen in the club. The way she was talking to me. Off the rip. You look cute. Your nose piercings look cute on you. I'm thinking, okay. I won't lie. I was flattered, right? So, anyways, I go back up, and that's kind of in my mind the whole day, the rest of the day. You know what I mean? Like, that person. We'll call her Jess, right? Jess is in my mind, and I think at this point I had like 3 hours left. So I was doing as much as I can to go down to reception and see her again. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was going down to reception every 30 minutes if I could. Every 30 minutes, 20 minutes, I was going down to reception because I had to get something. Because I had to go to the toilet, right? And keep in mind, we had toilets on each floor, right? But I had to go down to the reception. Well, people say the people that you work with are more attractive to you because you're seeing them all the time. But I don't know what it was like. From the first day I saw her, oh man, I was like, she just had an energy to her that just made me want to see and talk to her more. You know what I'm saying? So every time I saw her at work, like, we'd just say hi, like, or before she started her shift, she'll come up to whatever floor I was because she's going to see some people. Bullshit. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't believe that for a second. I'm gonna be real. I didn't believe it. If I'm being honest with you guys, I didn't believe that shit for a second, right? But that's what she told me. She's going around, she likes to say hi to everyone. And maybe it was true, maybe she liked to go see everyone, but coincidentally, she always ended up being on the floor that I was working at. Coincidentally, right? Okay, so maybe from like July to like December, November, it was kind of just like a thing where I'd see her at work, say hi, and, that was just it. Like, would say hi, maybe flirt with each other a bit, like, hi, like those. And she was a bigger flirt than me. I feel like she came onto me first. She always says that she didn't come onto me first, but she definitely came onto me first. Like guys, I'm not gonna lie, she definitely came onto me first. Anyways, that's besides the point, because I know she's gonna watch this video and try fight me on that. Like, you guys know how it can be with co-workers that, you may find attractive. You're kind of doing everything you can to see them, right? But still trying to be professional in your work. But it's that excitement and that sense of having someone you're attracted to and you're seeing them all the time. You know what I mean? You kind of always just want to see them and be in their presence, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But that's just how I felt. So yeah, like I said, November, December time, 2023. So this is maybe 4 or 5 months now where we've kind of been at work flirting and just small chat, not too much. So like I said, I was a carer. But in my work, we had a team that was doing lifestyle. So this wasn't things like, showering and, changing and feeding. This was now we have to set up activities for them. Now we have entertainers. Now we're playing games like bocce, like trivias, right? So they noticed me because I'm very like, I'm a human with these people, you know what I mean? Like, they're not, like, a lot of people seem to get into aged care and start to treat them like, oh, they're old. But like me, I'm the type of person that I would treat I treated them like they were like my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, we would have banter, we'd joke around, you know, it was still serious, but I wanted to make them feel like I was like a friend more than just a worker that's working with them, you know what I mean? I didn't want them to feel like I was just someone just coming to work. So the lifestyle team noticed me, and I was working maybe 1 or 2 shifts a week with them whenever I could. And I was able to see Jess a lot more often now, right? Because now, so reception is here, and then lifestyle team was just upstairs, right? So, right, and now lifestyle team, now we have to do the things where we're taking them outside or we're taking them for walks. So now it was a lot easier for me to go down to reception and see Jess than it was when I was working on the floor, because now I have that flexibility to just be like, oh, I'm just gonna, you know, go down reception and, you know, just see a resident, you know what I mean? Because that was the flexibility that lifestyle gave, if that makes sense. So that's how it was for like a month or two until I permanently moved to lifestyle. But at this point, now I have an Instagram. Now we're talking online. Like, maybe I would say talking was a bit of a stretch, but we would send each other memes, or she would send me memes, or we would have like 2-minute conversation about work. Oh, you coming to work tomorrow? Or, you know, those types of things. It was never like deep. It was never like anything deep or anything where it was like real serious to the point where like now we're out asking each other to go out on dates, or now we're talking on a consistent level where it could be seen as relationship building, right? It never really got to that point at this matter of time, like this. So this is now like January, and lifestyle was 9 to 5 now, right? Now I was working 9 to 5 with lifestyle, and like I said, she started at 3 p.m. right till night. So I had that 2 hours to go and see her on a regular, and she had her break at 4:30, so we would, you know, catch up and things like that. She would follow me around. Like I said, lifestyle gave you that freedom and gave you, you know, to kind of do that, right? Listen, I love lifestyle, right? Lifestyle, like the people that I was working with, the best colleagues that I've ever had in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was so calm. You didn't feel like, yes, we got the job, like we were working hard, but it didn't feel like work. You know what I'm saying? These people felt like my family. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to lifestyle, man. Shout out to lifestyle. Shout out to lifestyle. I'll be back in Melbourne soon. Maybe, probably not. I don't think I can work there anymore. Anyways, now we're in January. Now I've permanently moved to lifestyle. Now I am fully in lifestyle. And now we're kind of talking like people, like, okay. So during this period of me, you know, being in lifestyle and seeing her, people were starting to catch on. You know what I mean? People were starting to figure out, like, you know, things are happening here. You know, people were starting to see, because like I said, she's a flirt. She's a big flirt, and she's loud. And, you know, when I'm around other people and she's screaming, Tatsy! Or, you know, she called me Tatsy. When I'm working and she's screaming out Tatsy in front of all the residents, in front of all the workers, of course, people are going to have an idea, oh, maybe they're speaking, you know, because we would hug each other in public. There was a point where she was only giving me one-handed hugs, or she was letting me hug her and she wasn't hugging me back, and that pissed me off. Like, why am I hugging you and you're not hugging me back? That annoyed me. I'm not going to lie, that annoyed me. Those are a few things that annoyed me, right? And also the fact that she was very loud, right? Like, not just loud, but loud where it's like announcing that we're in this weird stage of talking, not talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say if you're a woman, right, that's watching this, me and you are speaking, and you kind of don't want people to know that we're speaking or having this weird thing that's going on, we are around other people, hey, giving you a hug. Are you not gonna be like, whoa, 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 whoa? You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, from that, people, and she would tell a lot of people as well. So people started to know. People started to catch on what was happening. And from my hearing, I was hearing that people were actually reporting, right? People were actually saying that Tats and Jess are actually having a relationship inside of work, even though there was a lot of people having relationships in work. I'm not gonna start saying, right? I'm not gonna start saying, but this is what I was seeing, right? And people don't like to mind their own business. You know what I mean? People don't like to mind their own business. How is it affecting you? Is the question that I always wanted to ask. Anyways, besides the point. So people started to catch on, right? My colleagues in lifestyle started to catch on. The carers started to catch on. Some people may not have said anything, but there is some people that would make comments and be like, oh, where's your wife, Jess? And they'll be like, oh, where's Jess? Like, and I remember I had a conversation like in January about this with her, saying like, look, like this is before I went on holiday, because I did go on holiday in January. This is before I went on holiday. I said, like, I don't want people knowing that me and you have this thing going on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to be a public thing. Yes, I don't mind. Like, she has to understand. Like, I wanted her to understand that if I didn't work with you, great. Like, there's no, you tell whoever you want at work. I've got no, this is not work. I don't have to work with these people. I don't care what you tell other people at your work, right? Because we're not working with each other. But we were working with each other. So whatever she was telling people, people were knowing my business as well, right? And I don't care if you know my business, but I don't know you, I don't work with you. Cool, know my business, whatever. But the fact that I'm working with you and I'm working with the girl that I'm talking to, right? And now you know, it just annoyed me. It really did annoy me. Yes, okay, I told like 1 or 2 people, but I know these people wouldn't say a thing. The problem was, the people that she was telling talk a lot. I would just be chilling there at work, and people would be like, oh, where's Jess? Ha ha ha. You know what I mean? And it was even worse because the big boss knew about it. The big boss knew about it, right? And it's not to say people were against it. People weren't against it. They were actually happy about it. But I just didn't like that part of my life being so out there like that. Now I can talk about it because it's whatever, right? If you know, you know. This is just, for most people, this is just a story time. But, you know, if you know, you know. If you really know, you know. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, January, and then I went on holiday. And we didn't really speak during the time that I was on holiday. Because I was on a cruise. Connection was bad. But at that point, I was kind of annoyed. The fact that she was kind of telling people and making it really obvious that me and her had something going on. I didn't like that. Like I said, I like my business being at the most it can private. You know what I'm saying? I like it to be private as it can be, especially because we're in a workplace. You know what I mean? You don't want to have that title of, you know, you're the people that, you know, have relationships and stuff in a workplace. You know, you don't want that title. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Anyways, I come back from holiday and, you know, everything kind of reset. I wasn't angry anymore. And like, look, like I came back from holiday and I don't know, like I really missed her. Like I came back from holiday and I actually really missed her. You know, because there was things that she would do, like, you know, she's a very feminine woman and I love femininity, right? She was very feminine. She was very, like a tad bit childish, but very feminine, like, you know, real girly, and I love that. She would always come and see me and say hi to me the most she can, you know, and I really like that. I don't know, yeah, she just did little things that kind of made me not angry or annoyed at her anymore. Like I said, she was real feminine. This is the reasons why I ended up kind of liking her in the first place. She was real feminine, like, just real happy all the time. You know, she just had a great energy to her. You know, this is why I just gravitated to her a lot, because she actually made me happy. You know, coming to work, I knew that I would see her. You know, it made me happy. I'm not gonna lie, it did make me happy. So, anyways, I come back from holiday, and this is where things start to make a change, right? This is where things start to get a little bit more serious than what they were beforehand. Because before we were just flirting and talking here and there and whatever. But when I came back from holiday, this is where we kind of decided, like I said to her, I remember I came down to reception this one time at around 5, because that's when I finished. I said, hey, like, I asked her if she was talking to anyone, and she told me, like, she wasn't talking to anyone. And I asked, like, do you want to talk, right? And at this point, I'm in a complete, like, I could run, so she could ask me to jump, and I would ask her how high she wants me to jump, right? I was that invested in this woman. Some people could say she had me around her pinky finger. I asked her if you wanted to talk, and she said, yeah, I want to talk. But it was kind of weird, because after that, like, I don't know. Like, we would talk, but then we wouldn't talk. I don't know, for me, it felt like, because we worked at the same place, now talking at home, like, I don't know. Like, I was good for like a day or two, and I was like, I don't know if I really want to be talking all the time, if that makes sense. So for me, I mean, I stopped really talking to her on social media, just at work, you know what I mean? Just at work. And, you know, like I said, because of lifestyle, we had our own offices. So I had my office on level 5. And sometimes, well, all the time before she started work, because she would come a little bit earlier. She started at 3. She would come maybe 1 or 2. She would come up to the office and, you know, we'll talk and we'll spend time with each other and things like that. It was nothing ever got like, to the point like we're kissing and we didn't even hold hands in the office. She didn't ever want to hold my hand. I don't know why. She told me, yeah, I don't know why she didn't want to hold my hand. But so it was never like that. It was just strictly talking and just spending time with each other and things like that. And I actually enjoyed her company, you know what I mean? Like we shared some vulnerable moments with each other. So, that's how it was for like a month or two. Like, and at this point now it's a lot more obvious to people because people could see her come into the office. People could see we're with each other when I was doing activities. Because lifestyle, we did activities on all floors. She would come, give me a hug, stand next to me. And like I said, she was real feminine. Like she was real, like, I don't know. Something about this woman I just really liked, you know what I mean? Like she was just, guys, Nepalese women are beautiful, right? Jess was beautiful, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the kind of relationship that we were having at work. It was these 1 or 2 months where I really started to develop feelings for this woman. It was these 1 or 2 months where I started to kind of like, be like, damn, I think I actually like her. We started to call and sleep on call before, at nighttime. We started to sleep on call. Like, I'll see you at work, babes, type of energy, you know what I'm saying? But I was still stuck in two minds of like, it's a work thing. But it doesn't matter because love is love, right? It's a work thing though, but love is love. But I was stuck between two minds. But I never really let that stop me. I didn't really care, honestly. Like, I didn't really care what anyone thought. If I'm being honest with you, didn't ever care what anyone thought. It was good that everyone was supportive. Like, my colleagues were supportive because at this point, yeah, everyone knows. Her colleagues, her friends at work, they were supportive of it. So it wasn't anything where we had to hide it. Like, we never kissed or anything in front of people. In front of people. We never kissed or anything. Okay, so yeah, we never held hands or we never showed public affection. That's what I'm trying to get at here. We'd hug each other, but we never showed any more of public affection. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it was, yeah. I think we did actually want to go on a date with each other at some point. Like, I remember I asked her, like, if she wanted to go on a date, if she wanted to go bowling. But she was really, like, persistent on bringing someone else from work, like, to bowling as well. And, they were close. And she really wanted to bring this person, like, basically everywhere that we went. She was like, oh, can we bring this person? And I didn't have an issue with this person. Like, I actually, like, quite enjoyed this person's company as well. Like, they were cool people, right? He was a cool person. But, like, why is it now threes, right? And at that, like, during that situation, it annoyed me because I was like, I just want to, like, spend time with you outside of work, just us two. But now that I think about it, maybe because, she just wanted to get comfortable and she just, wanted to, I don't know. That's the way I look at it now. We kind of got over that and we did plan a date to go on a movie date. Well, I had planned a movie picnic date with her. I was going to bring my laptop. We're going to have snacks, fruits and all of that, like a picnic thing. That's what I was planning. But I remember the weather that weekend was really, really bad and I had to cancel. So maybe, I think this is like March, so I had to cancel that. And after that, we never ever went on, another date or anything. We never planned another date. We were always talking about, oh, when you free? But it never ended up happening for some reason. I don't know why. It just never ended up happening. But yeah, we did actually plan to go on dates and to spend time with each other. But it just never ended up happening. I think the fact that we saw each other every day at work was enough, if that makes sense. But to me, it was like, yeah, that's when I kind of knew it wouldn't really go anywhere because, like, we never really saw each other. Like, how can you be with someone you don't see them outside of work, if that makes sense? Like, yeah. So that, yeah, it was just, yeah, it was just a situation, right? So, but to say that there was always chances for us to see each other outside of work, like, the lifestyle team that I was in, we always did things outside of work. Like, we would go to seafood boil, Korean barbecue, go to each other's houses, you know what I'm saying? The only bad thing is that she still lived with her parents and she finished at 9, right? So if we were doing things after work, it would be like 6, 7, you know what I mean? We weren't doing things later than that because, everyone has a life, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was kind of hard for us to do something with her. Otherwise, they would have invited her on my, on my behalf, like to invite her for me. So it starts to go downhill after a while. It starts to go downhill and there was a few occasions which annoyed me that she had done. Like I said to you guys before, the first thing that really annoyed me was her telling everyone and being really out and about us talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's like I said, it's fine if I don't work with you, but I work with you. You know, I work in the same workplace as you, and you know, you're making it really obvious that we were talking. That was the first thing that annoyed me about, you know, um, about her. And then the second thing was the fact that when I tried to tell her about this and I tried to have mature conversations, she never really got it. You know, I would go give her a hug, she wouldn't hug me back, so it kind of looked like I was doing too much. You know what I mean? And but in private, she's always like, ah. But when it came to like just a hug, like in person, like she would not hug, like she'd make it look like I'm doing too much. That annoyed me. She didn't understand why that would annoy me, but it annoyed me. You know what I'm saying? So that was another thing. There was another time where she was actually singing Nicki Minaj and she said nigger. She said the N-word. She said nigger, right? And now I looked at her funny and she was like, what? What's wrong? What's wrong? First of all, what's wrong? Nah, babes. Just because me and you would have this thing going on doesn't give you pass to now be saying the N-word, N-word. And I had a few issues with people from work with that, actually. I had 3 instances where people thought it was fine to say the N-word. Who is educating you guys? Genuinely, who's educating you guys? Respectfully, who is educating you guys? Like, why do you feel so confident you can say the N-word for? But it's work, so I just had to laugh about it. But like, I found it real weird. Yeah, she said the N-word and I was like, she didn't think anything was wrong with that. And that annoyed me. So I didn't talk to her because of that. And I didn't talk to her because of the whole, you know, being immature and not, you know, trying to think the bigger picture of not trying to get everyone to know that we're speaking. That annoyed me as well. And then there was a time where, so yeah. So even with those things, the feelings that I had kind of started to go away because I just felt like it wasn't going to go anywhere due to the maturity difference. Like, very immature in some ways. Like, she was mature, but she was very immature. I feel like in a romantic essence, right? In the romantic field, she was immature. You know, like, I mean, she felt like everything was about her. This is how I felt she felt, right? Everything was about her, you know, and things of that sort. So my feelings started to deter away, and I kind of was no longer like, there was a point where I was no longer talking to her or giving her that much attention at work. Like, it was literally just like a, you know, hi. And, you know, no hug, no nothing. Like, I wasn't giving her hugs, I wasn't giving her nothing. Just hi, strictly hi. And she caught on to that and she was kind of like, you know, why is he acting like this? She was telling everyone, she was telling other coworkers, asking why I'm acting like this. You know what I mean? Like, she was making it bigger than us, what it was. She was involving other people, and that's what I didn't like. She started asking other coworkers, oh, why is Tess like this? And now I'm getting my other coworkers asking me, oh, what's happening between you and Jess? Like, that was infuriating. You know, that was annoying. Because why? Because it's work, man. It's work. And this is when I was like, I said to myself that I wouldn't do this at work. But now I'm in the situation where now I have to explain to other people my business. Why I have to explain to you my business? You know what I'm saying? So that annoyed me. And yeah, there was like a period, maybe like a month, I feel like in April or like in May, where I wasn't speaking to her in like a point where it's like in a romantic. It was literally just a hi and bye for like a month. Hi, bye. You know, I was no longer going down, you know, when I finished work to see her. She was no longer coming up to the office to see me. It was very like, there was tension, right? But for me, like, it's work. I have a life outside of work, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, because it was never, like I said to you guys before at the start, like, there was never like a point where it was strictly professional. Like, there was no point where it was just strictly professional, because I feel like we started off with energy. Like, she started on energy with me. So we didn't ever have a time where we're just working together on strictly work purposes only, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? For me to worry about, oh, you know, it's gonna make things awkward. No, it didn't really make anything awkward. For me, at least. She made things awkward because she would ask people in front of me, what's the matter with you? Why aren't you talking to me? You know, like, in front of other people. And then, you know, I'm hearing that people are reporting us for, you know, public display of affection, but we never did any of that nonsense, right, in front of people. But I think people had an issue that they were seeing that at work. Fair enough, whatever. I don't know how it's bothering your life. Honestly, I think you're worrying about work a little bit too much. But anyways, none of my business. I just thought, that what she was doing in front of everyone was a bit weird, you know what I mean? And it just made me not like her that much more, if that makes sense, or like lose feelings that much quicker. And I could see her kind of starting to draw back as well for me, and that was like, okay, like cool, we're on even playing field. And it did hurt a little bit, I won't lie. Hey man, it did, like, seeing her not draw back as well, kind of like, I was like, oh, it was a little sting, but I started it, so like I couldn't have been mad that she was doing that back too, right? So after that month of not really speaking consistently and not really speaking like that, this is when I realized that my rent was going to be increased by $800, right? So I was in both, do I stay in Melbourne and continue to pay that rent, or do I move back to Adelaide, right? And if you know where I'm going, you know I'm going here. So I'm now living in Adelaide, so obviously I picked Adelaide. But I was like to myself, why am I acting like she's my girlfriend and being petty and all of that? So yeah, so I had realized that, I'm going, so why not talk? But like I said, I had told her, hey, like, I'm moving back to Adelaide. She was upset about that, and she, we did speak about doing long distance, but for me, long distance, like, I like physical touch. I love quality time. I love being around my partner, you know what I mean? So long distance would have been very hard for me. I did consider it for a week, but it was very hard for me. So I told her, like, I didn't just lead her on and, tell her sweet nothings. I told her, like, look, long distance, I can't do that, right? And she was like, okay, I understand. She didn't want me to go. She was very upset. But we just continued to talk like we were in a relationship. We'd do things like we're in a relationship. There was one day we did actually kiss at work. Yep, she came to my office. She came to the office and we shared a kiss? I don't know. Would you call it a kiss? I don't know if you'd call it a kiss. I don't know if you'd call it a kiss. I mean, yeah, but no, not really. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it was very weird. Okay, let's say this is Jess. And this is me. Okay, if Jess was to kiss, this is how her lips would go, right? This is how her lips, but this is just her lips normally. This is how her lips would go if she was to kiss. So this was me. No movement with her lips. No movement. Oh. But she stayed there. She kind of leaned in as well. No! I won't lie, I was kind of embarrassed. I was like, did I just kiss her and she didn't kiss me back? Whatever. Anyway, she goes downstairs, and the first person, she goes downstairs, not even 5 minutes later, I'm getting a text from one of my colleagues with clapping emojis. Remember what I told you about her liking to talk about it? The first message that I got was someone sending me clapping emojis. And that's when I knew, yeah, this girl's not serious. From that day, I knew this girl is not serious, right? This girl is not serious. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, it's fine. So we're talking. I did bring it up to her. I said, like, don't do that. That's very weird. And same thing. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, just excited, whatever. Is what it is. Whatever, right? Then we continue to talk. We're talking. And I remember there was this one day, because remember, we were like sleeping on coal. We're like talking over the phone. Not really texting too much, but we're talking over the phone and things like that. And there was this one phone call. And I remember we were about to sleep. And she tells me, and she tells me that she loves me. She tells me that she loves me. She told me that she loved me. I thought maybe she's just joking. But she didn't, she wasn't joking. Because I asked her again. And she was like, I didn't say anything. I was like, what did you say? She's like, I know what she said. She's like, I didn't say anything. I just wanted her to repeat what she said. And if you're joking, you're obviously just going to say, hi, I love, But she didn't say anything. And I remember the next day, I see her and I'm like I sit her down, we're sitting with each other. I'm like, what did you say last night? Bro, I'm like, what did you say last night? And bro, she fully was acting like she had memory loss. Like she had, when someone is trying to avoid talking to you about something, that's what she was doing, but on another level, to the point where she was like, she wanted to forget what she had said. Like, she was convincing herself that she never said what she said. Like, I'm telling you, like, she was looking at me confused, and I was looking at her back confused, thinking, like, what's going on here? You know, like, what's happening here? Like, we were looking at each other confused, and I was to the point where I was starting to believe maybe she didn't actually say it. And then she's like going around telling people, oh, Tat said, oh, you know, Tat had a dream that I said that I loved him. Tat had a dream that I said I loved him. And like, it was never a thing where I brought this up in public to other people. It was literally a private conversation. And I don't know, maybe she was embarrassed that she had said that, and now she wanted to deflect it. And now everyone's, like I said, the same thing. Everyone's now asking me, oh, like, what happened, you know? And I hated that. I hated that, you know? And these are things I'm talking about, like maturity in like a romantic sense. Like, she wasn't mature enough for that, you know what I'm saying? I did like her. Like, I did like her. I feel like earlier in the start of us kind of like, you know, when things are a little bit, you know, when I wasn't thinking about moving, or I wasn't thinking about all of these other things that she had annoyed me with, I actually was like kind of starting to love this girl. Like I said, don't know whether it was infatuation, don't know whether it was lust, but I started to actually really, really like this woman. Like, I really, really liked her. So, yeah, so she confessed that she loved me. I never confessed that I loved her. I always told her I might say it one day, but, you know, love is a very strong word. I never ended up confessing that I actually loved her, but I really, really, really did like her. What she did about that whole love thing, again, I didn't talk to her for a long time after that as well, because that really annoyed. It just showed a maturity, and it was just embarrassing for me, because first of all, I bring you to the side to talk about it, but now you wanted to scream, oh, Tat had a dream that I did this, you know, out of embarrassment or whatever your reasoning was, you know, and that annoyed me, you know what I mean? So I didn't speak to her again for a while. And after I didn't speak to her again for this while, like, I just kind of was turned off at that point. Like, I was turned off. We never wanted to go on other dates and things like that. I never spoke to her about that. We didn't talk anymore, like, on a romantic level. Like, we would flirt with each other here and there, like, cuddle with each other at work, whatever. But it never turned into a serious thing. I ended up leaving like 2 months later. But it's taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about doing relationships at work. And for anyone that's looking to get inside a relationship, you know, with someone that you work with, and how you should go about it, I realized that it is probably better to keep it private, only because people get into your business and people are bored. So people will report you, people will say anything. People are bored, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, if you like privacy, it's probably not the best place to launch a relationship, right? But there's nothing wrong with it. If you can keep it private, you know what I mean? If you can keep it private, you do what you do what you like, work, go home, you know, and you guys talk and see each other out of work and do all of that. That's fine. But anyways, that's the story about how I fell in love with a coworker, and it got really complicated. As you can tell, it got really complicated. My coworkers, my managers knew about it. Everyone knew about it. People were asking me about it. It was helpful that everyone was supportive of it, but it just stressed me out, and, you know, yeah, it was just a whole lot of stress. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share the video to your friends and family. Tell me what you thought about this video, and let me know if you get into a relationship with someone that you would work with. Me personally, never again. I'm not gonna lie to you, but let me know. Thank you guys for watching. It's been your boy, man like Tats, and I'm out. Peace.